Hi, everybody. Welcome to Local Hogwash. I'm your host, Kristy Bock.
I'm Michelle Cash.
Who's also your host.
Yeah. I got a lot of grief for that this week.
I was confused where it came from, but then I knew where it came from. I knew you were questioning it because BJ separated his and Aletha's.
Do you guys see anything different about me?
Your earrings?
Nope.
Your hair?
Yes.
It's up.
Oh, it's a totally different color.
Okay, I'm never going to notice that ever.
Really? It's a totally different color. Kristy.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
Yes.
I do see it now.
Fun fact.
I like it.
That's my natural hair color.
I like it too.
Thanks.
It's kind of unfair to ask somebody about the color of your hair when it's up in a clip.
Oh. It's my natural. My mama said, oh, finally, after all these years.
Last week I went to Felicia Solomon's floating reception for the launch of her campaign.
That? I didn't make it. I was at Kinston 101.
It was really nice. She had people stand up and talk about themselves and her, and she called out BJ, and he had to do some talking. I didn't go for any other reason than for Felicia to feel supported.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was conflicted because I wanted one of her signs. I wanted to put her sign in my front yard.
Yeah.
Two things stopped me. One, Hades would eat it. Hades eats everything. Everything. So, but the second was that with the political season coming up, and I will probably be doing the primary writing of any articles that come about from this election season.
Careful.
I have to be careful. So I am absolutely in support of Felicia Solomon running. I hope that she is the next mayor of Kinston.
Me too. Not even live here.
But I felt odd about what that would mean for future articles if I put a sign in my front yard.
I can see that.
But then I felt bad because it's like saying I can't have an opinion or I can't have a voice. But no, I want other people to feel comfortable with sharing their opinion and their voice with me.
A lot of people will probably think that you can't separate, your work from your personal views. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. Because I've known that you've wrote about some things that were quite sketchy that we did not agree with. And really and truly, those are my favorite articles to read.
My column really got a lot of positive
feedback. It was so good. Because it was good. And it was truthful. And it hit right on target.
I kind of leaned back and I just chuckled and I said, I definitely think we all forgot the lessons on 9/11 because we're so busy fighting over every single thing under the sun. Mm-hmm. And Aletha was like, that should be your column. And I wasn't even trying to write a column. I was just like, I'm so sick of this. Like, when will we remember what September 12th looked like?
We're not.
When will we remember that our neighbors are our friends? If the world went dark today, EMP bomb hits, we have no electricity, we have no nothing works. Who do you rely on? It's your neighbor. It's the person next to you. It's the grocery store that's down the street from you. It's the post office that's 3 blocks away. Like, those are the people that matter. But we spend all of our time fighting on social media with people whose opinions don't even matter to us.
And I guarantee you half these people that fight on Facebook don't even know the person they're arguing with.
And their facts are skewed most of the time.
Trying to keep it going.
What did that woman, Trump's little blonde lady, what was her name?
Kellyanne Conway.
What phrase did she coin? Alternative facts? Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kellyanne Conway. She's tough, man. You know who my favorite is?
Who?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Oh, we've had this discussion.
Obviously, she's not Kristy's favorite.
None of them are, though. But I don't like the new administration either, so I'm an equal opportunity hater.
I don't like the administration either, but I wanted that job. They turned me down. It's the second job I've gotten turned down for in the last 2 years.
Norma Jean asked BJ, did you ever send out the letters for the people who didn't get the job? And he's like, sure did.
Oh, yeah, sure did.
And I said, yeah, because Michelle was salty. And Norma Jean was like, why? Because she's sweet. And then I just chuckled and I said, well, because she thought BJ sent her a hateful email, and turns out her best friend wrote it.
Huh? Judas.
So I went to Peach House and I got their basil
pesto pasta.
No, this was soup. It was tomato based soup, basically. So good.
Have you had their chicken and wild rice soup?
I don't like chicken and wild rice soup.
Okay, have you had their broccoli and cheese soup?
I don't like broccoli and cheese
Okay,
soup
have
at
you
all.
had their chicken casserole?
Yes, I've had that.
Sweet.
That was good.
Have you had their twice baked red potatoes?
Yes, I like that too.
That's my favorite combo.
So I think, well,
I want all three. I want the twice baked red potatoes. I want the chicken casserole, and I want the chicken and wild rice soup.
it's so funny because I could eat soup every single day of my life, but I grew up on chicken soup of every capacity. So whether it be just a can of chicken and stars, homemade chicken noodle, I hate chicken soup. I hate all of it.
I can't eat chicken and stars.
Do you know what we're having tonight for dinner?
Chicken and stars?
No, tortellini soup.
I can't have chicken and stars because I had mono one time and I threw it up. Can't eat it. I can't eat beanie weenies either.
Well, both of them aren't really good for you, so.
No. People at my house like to pour beanie weenies in the macaroni and cheese, and you want to talk about livid? I get real mad.
Why do you get mad?
Beanie weenies don't belong in macaroni and cheese.
I grew up with more hot dogs mixed in with macaroni and cheese, so that's normal. Never had beans in it, though. That's interesting.
Weird.
Don't you just mix your food just to mix your food? Like, that's how casseroles became invented.
No, I don't. No.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Why not?
I have a very specific way of eating.
You just said you like chicken casserole.
Well, that's different.
How?
Because it's already a conglomeration of things that I put on my plate. But the things that go on my plate that I put on my plate, I'm not going to mix them together. There's a specific way that things are done, and that's not it.
One of my favorite breakfasts.
Oh, God.
Everywhere I go. I've had it at Lovex. I've had it at Hawk's Nest. I've had it everywhere in Jacksonville that has breakfast. It is called a grits bowl.
Mm-mm.
You get a lovely serving of grits.
I can do that.
And then you dump in your scrambled eggs, your sausage, your bacon, your cheese, and you mix it all together, and it's called a grits bowl. And it's fantastic. So I just think we're on very polar opposites this conversation because I love mixing
If it doesn't already come pre-mixed, I'm not having it. When I go to Thanksgiving, I get a little dab of each thing, and I start at the collards or whatever, and I eat all the collards, and then I'll move to what's next on my divided plate because I do not like for my juices to touch. I don't like my food to touch. So when I'm done with one thing, I can move to another, and then I can move. I'm not one of these. I'm going to stab the turkey, get some dressing, and throw some potatoes on it. No.
So I get a bowl, and I put the stuffing on the bottom, and then the turkey, and then the mashed potatoes, and then the green beans, and probably the gravy, and then sweet potatoes on top.
You're
and
ridiculous.
I eat it like that.
I'm very stressed right now.
Well, why don't you pick the next topic then?
I don't even know where to go from here. I feel like I've lost all control.
Saturday is actually my day to volunteer at the Smart Artist Gallery, so I will be there.
What time?
1 to 5.
Oh. And what do you have on Sunday?
I'm going to your house at
Ha!
6:30. And
We're having a business meeting.
Danny's coming too.
We're not having game night. We're having a business meeting.
So I'm excited because on one hand, there are so many different things, like visions I had for Hogwash. I always saw it far more whimsical than it is. Like, do you remember back when, in the beginning, when I would put, like, words on top of our heads and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I miss stuff like that.
Do you want me to get you a
silliness.
vision board?
I probably won't finish it. I have all kind of stuff like that. I'm just not good at follow through.
Okay.
Like, this is probably the most thought out idea I've ever had.
No, it is not the most thought out idea. You've had several thought out ideas. This is the most executed idea that you've ever had.
Touche.
Ha ha!
Touche.
Finally got you. Finally, mark it down, Danny. I've won one of these small battles. I was right, she was wrong. Write it down, September 15th, 2021.
I even admit it.
I was right.
So, at the school
What
board
are school people?
At the school board meeting for
Previous
Lenore
school
County,
people.
at the previous school board meeting for Lenore County this week's on Monday, I sent Michelle a tiny clip, a 2-minute clip.
That I have dissected over and over.
So have I. I actually have a very funny version of it. If you recall, last year, the Lenore County School Board made some very important decisions that affected every child in Lenore County. Now,
and they were questionable, to say the least.
to be fair, they stayed in line with most of the state of North Carolina.
Why can't you just be petty with me?
Because I, at the time, wasn't so against pulling the kids from school.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so those decisions were made and they impacted every single child, every parent, every worker, every person in Lenore County was in somehow impacted by the decision that the Lenore County School Board made last year about COVID. I see that. So to hear the chair of the Lenore County Board of Education, and I'm going to paraphrase, and I'm going to be mean as I paraphrase. So,
but we have the audio of it in case anybody wants to ask.
It's at 1 hour and 14 minutes.
And I don't mind using these people's words against them.
So the paraphrasing is,
you got an issue. So we really don't know now. Mr. Anderson does, because he's an ex school person. Mr. Merlin is an ex school person. Mr. Davis does, but the rest of us, aren't as versed in education. So
I don't know anything about education. I don't know why you're coming in with your questions. Go look. You can go ask him a question. He's a school person.
Which I still have not found the definition to, because it's not in the Webster's dictionary.
It was like, I'm not a petty person. I promise you I'm not. But I saved that clip so that in 3 years' time, in 3 years' time, when his seat is open, I can give it to his challenger because it's worth its weight in gold.
Do you know what else I loved?
What?
Whenever they made the statement at the beginning of the meeting that everybody needed to have their mask on. And said chairman said, please, when you speak loudly, project so that we can hear your voices. We want to hear you. Appreciate that. I really loved it when Mr. Anderson, it was his turn to speak, and he goes, whoop.
On that note, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Brandon Potter with Potter Photography for all of the amazing work that he does, and BJ Murphy with Magic Mall Media for just being amazing. And Danny.
My favorite, Danny Perez.
Danny.
Yeah.
We love you, Danny. And next week we have Linda Rouse Sutton. I am so excited to have. I just love her. I genuinely think she's like one of the sweetest people.
She is really nice.
Met. And then following week we will have Jose Perez.
Let me do it.
I knew you were going to.
I love it. I mean, I practice that like I practice at Jim's Caps.
I know.
Captain Caps, Trailers.com.
So if you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can reach out to us at any time. You can find us on Facebook at Local Hogwash or our website, www.localhogwash.com. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, everything. Or
you can even find us around town if you want to.
Right.
If you're lucky. No, I'm just kidding.
On that note, I want everybody to have a safe and happy day. I will see you all again, same time, same place.
Bye-bye.
Bye.